Assalamualaikum and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with episode 2 of Legal Lens, where politic talks. I'm sorry, it's just a sneak peek where law talks and politic walks. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jiha, the host for today's episode. So we have our esteemed guest for today, which is should I reveal it? Okay, so I'm going to say their position first. We have the president of IIUM Law Student Society. We also have the vice president of IIUM Law Student Society. So, brothers, would you please briefly introduce yourself to the audience? I'm very sure our audience is very eager to know about you. Maybe you can share your name, your position, your achievement, and also participations in Law Society. We can start with the president first.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Muslim bin Muhammad Razwan. I am in my third year of Ahmad Ibrahim Kuliah of Laws. I am the president of IIM Law Student Society for 2024-2025. So my achievement is like I have been in Law Student Society for 2.5 years, and I was the subcommittee, and then I go to subcommittee, and then go to the chairperson of academic and legal skills secretariat for 2023-2024, and then the next one is I go to the president of IM Law Student Society 2024-2025.
Alright, so thank you, Brother Muslim, the president of IIUM Law Student Society. So can we have the vice president of IIUM Law Student Society to introduce yourself?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good evening everyone. My name is Muhammad 𝘚𝑕𝒉. I am second year, second semester student in IIKOL, and I am currently holding the position as the Vice President 1 of IIM Law Student Society 2024-2025. So my experience in IIM Law Society is quite different with Brother Muslim, in which I am joining only for the first time as the Vice President. But alhamdulillah, with regard to my achievement, I previously participated in a lot of mooting competition, and one of them is Law Asia national and international level. So that's all.
So thank you, Brother Muslim, and also Brother Aiman, for the very interesting introduction just now. So ladies and gentlemen, today our episode is quite interesting and quite different from the previous episode. So this episode, we will be doing a game show. I'm very sure that our audience is very interesting and very look forward to for our segment later. So before we proceed with our game show today, we will have, as usual, we will have a Q&A session first, alright? So we have prepared several questions for you guys regarding, obviously, the law and also legal field questions. So I'm going to start with, maybe Brother Muslim can answer these questions, because I feel like Brother Muslim is more suitable for you to answer this question. So the first thing, what is actually a law society and how does it work actually?
All right, thank you very much. So, Law Student Society is actually a body, a society, where I think that, in my personal view, it's like a bridge from the student and the kuliah, where the student needs, student wants, we deliver it to the kuliah. So in Law Student Society, we have like a lot of secretariat under me, like there's a vice president, treasurer, secretary, that's for the main board. And on the other side is like our secretariats, where we have like a 10 secretariats, for example, like academic and legal skills secretariat, welfare secretariat, and as well as like a sports, where I think that the student needs, like for example the academic, like the student wants to have like the pre-register. So this Law Student Society will help the student needs, student wants, student inquiries to the kuliah, and as well as like the welfare is really important in IIKOL. So we think that the welfare of student, we have to protect it, we have to manage it accordingly. So I think that this Law Society plays a big role to fulfill what is the student in IIKOL wants in the welfare side.
I see. So it's actually a really good arrangements that you have few secretariats under you, such as we have academics, right? We also have, do we have sports?
Yes, we have sports.
Very interesting. All right. So I believe that they are in good hands.
Yes.
All right. So next questions that we have prepared for you guys is, maybe both of you can answer this because it's a very simple questions. Describe your law school journey in 3 words. So maybe Brother Aiman Firdaus can answer first.
Most unforgettable memories.
Wow, I wonder why. All right, so how about Brother Muslim?
Interesting question. I think enjoy, stressful, and growth.
I see. So maybe you want to briefly explain, just a brief one, why do you say those three words?
Because for me, I think why I could best memories ever because you can actually pursue your passion. Because previously in high school, I'm really interested with law and history. So Alhamdulillah, thankfully, I managed to be a part of IIUM Law Society, especially as IIKOLian.
I see. IIKOLians. That's a really interesting name. IIKOLians. All right. So how about Brother Muslim? Why do you choose those three words just now?
I think because of in law school, I enjoy learning with a friend, stressful with the assignment, presentation, the deadline, and growth is like when you get out from the law school, you have the growth after you have learned everything, you
I
are growth
see.
already.
That's a really good sharing session as well. So we have another questions that we prepared before we proceed with our exciting segment later. All right. So the next question is, what are your favorite legal terms, or maybe apart from legal terms, maybe legal phrase, and why do you think it's interesting? Maybe Brother Muslim can answer first.
I think that the interesting legal phrase is like this one quote, the law is harsh, but it is the law. It's like, I think that because people think that why the law decides that, why the law decide that, but it's actually the law that actually in the act, in the case law. So I think that that's the best one for me, that is very interesting.
I see. So could you repeat the phrase again so that our audience can actually quote that thing?
The law is harsh, but it is the law.
All right, so audience, please listen to that quote. It's very interesting. So how about Brother Aiman Firdaus?
So for me, my preferred or best quote, I usually prefer legal maxim. And one of them that I actually quoted in my previous lawyership competition is quote a probo, non re probo, in which the thing that you approve, you cannot later disapprove that thing. So I think what is very important about this maxim is that as a law student or as an ordinary people, we cannot just be inconsistent in our life. Everything that we have approved or we actually choose that thing, we need to make sure that we can actually fulfill and successfully achieve that particular things.
I see. But just now, Brother Aiman did mention about legal maxim.
Legal maxim.
So what is actually legal maxim? Because we have like legal terms, we have legal phrases, but what is actually legal maxim? Could you actually briefly explain about legal maxims?
Sure, Sister Jia. So basically, legal maxim is a part of other legal terms and phrases, but it is particularly about we trying to copy from Latin or other languages, and the term that has been mentioned just now is from Latin. And if I can refer to other terms is, for example, stare decisis, ratio decidendi, all of this term is not just a mere phrases, but is actually very essential during our submission before the learned judges.
I see. However, I did recall that I have friends that actually mentions about this, but I'm not sure. Okay, so don't laugh with me and just bear with me. Is it like actus non facit injuria, something like that? Is that considered as legal maxim?
Indeed.
I see. So it is an interesting subject. Is it law? It's an interesting. So we have like another questions that we would like to ask. How is being a law student for you guys so far? Maybe Brother Muslim can answer first.
I think so far, Alhamdulillah, I managed it well, but I think that law student with a law assignment, I think it's like a burden and stressful for me. And I think that you have to actually manage it really, really well, even though like it's like a burden, it's like stressful. You have to manage it, your time management as well, like how you manage yourself as well.
I see. So how about Brother Aiman Firdaus? How do you actually like deal your life as a law student? Just a brief one.
For me, I think the best tips that I can share with the audience is you must have the feeling of belongingness to the IIKOL, in which you must take all your priorities to the first, in which you must study everything that you participate. You must think about yourself, your family, and especially the reputation of the IIKOL itself.
I see. So it is a tough subject, right? Being a law student, and also a tough life of being a law student itself. So last questions that I have is just a briefly yes or no answer. Do you recommend being a law student or studying law to the students? How about Brother Aiman?
Yes, definitely.
It's a yes. How about Brother Muslim?
Yes.
It's a yes. So for those students out there, especially because we have our SPM students that just received their result yesterday, right? If you guys wanted to pursue law, I think you guys can actually pursue law, because our brothers here, they actually recommend studying law is actually a good thing. So I guess we have reached not the end of our session, but just a break. We're going to take a break for a while so that we can stretch and also refresh for our next segment, which is the game show. I think I revealed it too fast, but I'll see you soon. So stay tuned. Bye. Assalamualaikum and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with our second segment of episode 2, Legal Land. So, we actually have mentioned just now that this episode will be quite interesting because there will be game show. So, I think our guest here is quite ready. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
So, as usual, we still have it's the same guest. We have Brother Aiman and also Brother Muslim. Alright, so for this game, I'm going to explain briefly on how we are going to play. Alright, so both of you, I will question first the given question. So you guys will ring the bell. So who's going to ring the bell first? There will be the one that going to answer. Is it good? Is it good? So are you guys ready?
Yes.
I think the audience are ready as well. Alright, so the first questions. Jing, jing, jing. Alright, so in respect of Article 121, Clause 1A, what is the idea of harmonization of Sharia and also civil law? So I'm going to do a countdown. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we have Brother Aiman Firdaus to answer the first question. Alright, so Brother Aiman Firdaus, you can answer.
Thank you so much, Sister Jia, for the question. So basically, in respect of Article 121, Clause 1A, basically this subclause is a new clause that has been inserted in 1988 due to the life issues in which the decision made by the civil courts were made as a judicial revision to the High Court or Civil Court. So basically, by having this Article 121 Clause 1A, it precludes any jurisdiction to the civil courts with regard to any matters that is specifically for jurisdiction of the Sharia courts. And in the idea of harmonization of Sharia law and civil law, it is actually the ultimate mission of IIKOL, in which we are trying to make sure that there is no conflict between these two legal systems and they can actually work hand in hand.
I see. So that's very interesting sharing, especially for those who are interesting to know between Sharia and also civil law. So we have another questions, obviously. Are you guys still ready? Are you guys still in the mood? All right. So the next question is, in criminal law, how do we actually can distinguish between a culpable homicide and also a murder? So are you guys ready? You guys want some time to think about it? Maybe I'm going to give 5 seconds. Okay. Are you guys ready? All right. So 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we have Brother Muslim here to answer this question.
Alright, so how to differentiate between the culpable homicide and murder? I think culpable homicide falls under 299 of the Penal Code, and on the other hand is murder is 300 of the Penal Code. I think that to distinguish between these two, it's like you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt, right? And then you have to, it's like there's like a similarity, there's like a difference. However, it's very hard to, like distinguish these two. So I think that 299 is like when you, it's like murder, it's very high level. On the other hand is the culpable homicide. It's not, we think that it's a murder, but it's not culpable, it's not the murder. So,
I see. So, are you saying that if it is a murder, then the punishment is higher than the culpable homicide, is it?
That's right.
I see. That's an interesting sharing as well. And it's a new knowledge for me and also for everyone that's currently watching. Especially if for the law students that interesting and very keen to know more about criminal law. Alright, so we have another questions actually. Because we have prepared several questions, so I really hope that our guests here are ready to answer those questions. Alright, so the next question is, does freedom of speech be absolute by virtue of Article 11? Or is there any limitation? Alright, so are you guys okay? Okay, so as usual, I'm going to count down. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so maybe Brother Muslim can answer first.
So it's about the article, I think it's Article 10, because Article 11 is religion. Article 10 is the freedom of speech. We know that the Article 10 is like the freedom of speech. We can like say whatever we want. However, there's like a limitation. We don't really have like a freedom, the absolute freedom of speech, but we have the limitation. For example, like when you have in like Defamation Act, that's like a limitation, Defamation Act, and as well as like in the what is it, Seditious Act, that's like limitation. You cannot like you talk about other people, that's like under the Defamation Act. So that is like not all thing you can actually speak to other people, because there's like limitation under Article 10 of the Federal Constitution. Yes.
Oh, I see. So, meaning that we cannot say anything that we like, although there's like, because they have a limitation, right? I see. So, as usual, new knowledge for all of us and also for the audience. Alright, so the next question is actually quite interesting, especially for those who are interested to know about court. Because as we all know, as lawyers, we often go to the court, and also because we have several types of lawyers, right? We have in-house lawyer and also we have litigation lawyer. So for litigation lawyer, they will often go to the court. So for these questions, I will say that what are the key elements that must be proven for a stalking case to hold up in court? It's an interesting question actually. So I can see that Brother Aiman was actually ready to ring the bell. So I'm not gonna do a countdown, but maybe before answering the questions, one of you could actually ring the bell. Anyone would like to answer? All right, so Brother Aiman can answer.
Thank you, Sister Jia. So it's a very interesting question because stalking is actually a modern crime, and this actually has been included in our penal code by virtue of section 507A. So basically, when there is alphabet A, it is a new amendment to the penal code. So basically, in order for us to establish a crime of stalking, we can actually manage or try to prove just by having a repetition acts of stalking. So what is actually stalking that has been defined by our penal code is actually if you trying to communicate or trying to stalking the person that you are trying to become the victim. So basically it's a new crime, and actually there is like a punishment towards the accused if the crime has been proven beyond reasonable doubt.
I see. So it's not actually an easy or simple thing, especially when dealing with courts, right? So I'm guessing that for law students that are interested to do litigation, this is something that you need to take note on. All right, so of course we have another question. So this question is actually quite interesting despite what happened recently. So with regards to the incident of 𝑬𝒙𝑑𝐿, have you guys heard of it? Yeah, right. So it's actually a famous things that actually happened recently. So do we have any legal framework that actually governs it by mere policy only? So anyone would like to answer? I'm going to do a countdown. 1, 2, 3. All right. So Brother Aiman, you can have a shot once again.
Okay, thank you so much. So actually, yes, it is very controversial with regard to the issue of 𝑬𝒙𝑑𝐿. We like have 3 incidents for the past 2 weeks. But we know that actually, is there any specific legal frameworks or guidelines in respect of 𝑬𝒙𝑑𝐿? So basically, the Prime Minister Office, the PMO, has mentioned about 2 specific legal frameworks. Number 1 is the Emblem and Names Act, in which if someone has been accused for the crime of misappropriating our 𝑬𝒙𝑑𝐿, he or she can be punished with fine less than 100,000 ringgit. But there is another act that has been mentioned that if a corporate body misappropriate that 𝑬𝒙𝑑𝐿, they can actually be fined 1,000 ringgit also.
Alright, so you guys that has been following up about the case or the 𝑬𝒙𝑑𝐿 issues, maybe you can take note on that. So, actually this question is like a yes or no answer. So everyone would like to answer this. You guys can just ring the bell as usual. So, is time management is a good thing to have as a law student? 1, 2, 3. Alright. So, is it a yes or is it a no?
It's a yes for me.
It's a yes. Maybe you can briefly explain why?
I think that it's time management is really important because you participate a lot of things, the society, and also your assignment presentation. I think that when you have like maybe like for example the timetable, you have to know what is actually this time you have to do this, and that time you have to do that. So I think that it will well manage your time properly in law school. It's very important, the time management.
Alright, so take note guys, especially for the law students. Alright, so now we are going to take a short commercial break. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed this segment. But stay tuned because we have another exciting things that's coming up for our next segment. Alright, so maybe we will give some time for you guys and also the guests to stretch and also to relax and also refresh. Alright, so don't go anywhere, stay tuned and see you. Assalamualaikum and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with Legal Lens episode 2. So I'm Jiha, and also we still have our guest for today. We have Brother Aiman and also Brother Muslim with us. So, as I mentioned just now, this episode will be quite an interesting episode because we have prepared you guys several games that you can actually witness our guests to play with us today. Alright, so just now we have already ring the bell. So now let's play another game, shall we? Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Are you guys okay? Alright, so maybe this game we will share about a real life cases, because we often know that being a law student we will need to do some research or especially read some law cases, right? So in this game our audience need to know that our guests will actually do, maybe they're gonna handpick this thing. It's actually quite interesting, so I'm gonna show you guys this. In this box it contains several area of laws. We have family laws, we have constitutional law, and we also have maybe other things such as Islamic family law, also criminal law. So when our guests here, we have Brother Aiman or Brother Muslim to handpick this piece of paper, it will contain the area of law that they need to explain the real life cases. So I'm guessing that our guest is ready, or are you guys nervous?
Nervous.
Nervous?
Yes.
Okay, so one say ready and one say nervous. So I think I'm gonna start with Brother Aiman first. Maybe give Brother Muslim some time to chill.
Okay.
Alright, so maybe Brother Aiman can give it a shot first. Alright, so what are the area of laws that you received? Maybe you can show to the camera. Constitutional law. It's actually an interesting area of laws. Alright, so maybe you can share with us the real life cases that's happening.
Sure, Sister Jihad. So actually, the actual cases that I can actually share with the audience is not a quite recent case, but it was a case that has been decided by the Malaysian High Court back in the formation of Malaysia, in which the government of state of Kelantan and government of Malaysia in 1963, whereby the facts or the main issue in this case is whether or not the government of Kelantan and the ruler of Kelantan, the Sultan, should be consulted before any formation or admission of new states to the Federation, in which in this particular case, the admission of Singapore, Sabah and Sarawak. However, the learned judge decided that there is no specific or particular clause in the Federal Constitution that given such requirement, so there is no need for them to be consulted, and that's why we have Sabah and Sarawak right now.
I see. So no wonder we have Sabah and Sarawak. So that's how it works, and that's how the starting of everything. Wow, it's an interesting thing. It's a new knowledge for me. Alright, so I'm guessing that the audience could learn something from what Brother Aiman has said. Alright, so now we have 4 more areas of laws. I wonder what Brother Muslim gonna pick. So can I have Brother Muslim to pick one? Alright, so what are the area of laws?
The Islamic family law.
Islamic family law, ladies and gentlemen. So it's quite interesting actually. Alright, so can you please briefly share about the cases, the real life cases?
Alright, so the case, I think it's about the matrimonial property. It's about 𝗪𝗪𝗚 pencarian. I think if I'm not mistaken, the case name is Boto something. Yeah, but it's the name. So it's about there's a wife and there is a husband. And then the husband it's like a fisherman, if I'm mistaken. Then he has like boats and some of the lands, and then after a few years, if I'm mistaken, they separated. They got divorced, and then the wife, the boats, the land is the husband's. And then after they got divorced, of course, the wife wanted to get the matrimonial property, and then because of the husband said that, oh, that is mine, you would have no right to get what is mine. So the boats, all the belonging of the husband is actually it's the 𝗪𝗪𝗚 pencarian, because of the wife was like helping him throughout the, like throughout his career as a fisherman, and like helping him like a lot of things. So the court decided that it's actually it's not all, it's like some of the property, some of the belonging of the husband is actually the wife as well. So it's like a participantarian between the wife and husband.
I see. So are you saying that during the marriage, if we actually collect some of the property or maybe some of the things during the marriage, that we as the wife can actually claim for the matrimonial? I see. So it's a good thing for me to learn and for all of you to learn, right? So we have heard about constitutional law. We also have heard about Islamic family law cases. I wonder what's next. So maybe you guys can decide who's gonna do the case explanation for our next area of law. Alright, so we can have Brother Aiman. Alright, so Brother Aiman, can you share with us? We have torts law. What an interesting area of law as well. So, Brother Aiman, could you please briefly explain about the cases in torts law?
Okay, sure, Sister Jiha. So actually, my actual case is similar with what has been mentioned by Brother Muslim just now. It's actually area of defamation law. But we need to take into account that in defamation, there are two types of defamation. Number one is slander, in which a permanent form of defamation. And secondly is libel, in which, slander is not permanent, but for libel is a permanent in nature. So there is one actual case that has been decided recently in last year, in which one of our prominent Islamic scholars, Dr. Zakir Naik, has sued one of the politicians, in which Ramasamy, for the case of defamation. And in that particular case, the High Court has decided that all 5 articles that has been published by Ramasamy, the defendant in that particular case, were defamatory remarks. And in the natural and ordinary meanings of that articles, it can actually lower the reputation of the plaintiff, which is Dr. Zakir Naik, in the estimation as the prominent Islamic comparative religion scholar. So I think the reason is actually following the previous decision, in which we need to take into account in any defamatory case, there are 3 things that must be proven. Number one, the defamatory remarks. Secondly, it must be referring to that particular plaintiff. And thirdly, it must be published to any third parties.
I see. So I have a question. If it does not publish to the other parties or maybe third parties, so defamation cannot be proved?
Indeed, cannot.
I see. So it must be published by the third party. So if only just me saying something, let's say, for example, me saying something about Brother Muslim, but Brother Aiman is not here, so it's not considered as defamation.
Indeed.
I see. So guys, please take note on that. It's very interesting. Alright, so we have heard about torts law. We have already heard about constitutional law. And we also heard about Islamic family law. Actually, I'm waiting for the criminal law part, since I'm very eager to know about criminal law cases. So I'm guessing that Brother Muslim can have a shot this time. Alright, so I wonder what that is.
It's criminal law.
Criminal law, indeed. Yep. So basically, we are very interested to know what are the cases in criminal law. Maybe Brother Muslim can explain to us.
Alright, in criminal law, there's like one interesting case for me. It's the name of the case is 𝘓𝑑𝘴.
𝘓𝑑𝘴.
I think it's like in the part of mistake of fact, if I'm mistaken. Yeah. So it's about the 𝘓𝑑𝘴. There's like a woman, and then there was another woman as well in the house. They didn't know that there's like another third person. And then I think the 𝘓𝑑𝘴 is the name. Right. And then at the upstairs, and then she wanted to go downstairs. And then as he went to the downstairs, he saw it's like a, like evil ghost, like a broom.
Is it like hallucination?
Yes.
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
dancing in the middle of the night. It's quite scary.
That is quite scary.
Yeah. And then she thought that it's like an evil spirit. And then he used an axe to just just slash the evil spirit. And then it turned out to be like, it's actually his sister-in-law. So because of this, there's like a principle of the mistake of fact, and then the court decided that it's actually she, the Bondaku, was mistakenly thought that the evil spirit, the what is it, the woman that is dead is actually the evil spirit. So that's like the principle under the criminal law, which is the mistake of fact. And the court decided that the Bondaku is not guilty, was not guilty.
I see. So Bondaku is not liable for murdering the sister-in-law. I see. All right, so that's the end of our next segment, which is the last game. So I'm guessing that it's the end for us. But before we end our session for today's episode, can we actually have a few words from the guests about what are the thoughts that you guys can share to the audience regarding learning law, learning the subject of law, or maybe being part in legal field? Just a brief one.
For me, I think to conclude our segment tonight is that to all the new and future lawyers, you must take into account that everything is possible in our life. Even though you have been mentioned that with regard to law is a very difficult, extremely challenging, but there is a way for you to actually manage and trying to achieve the successful moment to become the successful law student.
All right, so how about Brother Muslim? Just a brief one. Maybe you can share with us.
I think that even though that the law is hard, I think that you have to get through it. Like you have to manage it well. Yeah.
I see. All right. So I guess that's a wrap for our episode for Legal Lens. So don't forget to follow our social media for our next interesting episode in TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and also Twitter. So that's a wrap for our session. Thank you everyone for being with us tonight, where law talks and politics walks. Bye.